I've been waiting to get into this one, baby. Yeah. You guys looking at the thumbnail, you looking at the title of the video, and also you looking at what's on the screen right here. Yes, that is the legend Maury Povich and your good old boy MTR linking up in person to do some content together. All right. Guys, I want to be able to do a commentary over what Maury and I talked about. Let me also preface this real quick, and let me at first give a giant shout out to my community. I don't care if you're just a subscriber to the channel, right? If you're just a watcher of the channel, if you consider yourself a part of the MT Army, or if you consider yourself as one of the lovely ladies, a part of the MTRs, I don't care. Thank you guys so much for your respect. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for going over to their platform and commenting and saying, yo, you got to do a conversation with MTR, because they reached out and we had an in-person conversation. I would be remiss not to call out the community before proceeding forward. All right. Now, yes, they reached out. We linked up, and I'm going to get into and do commentary on what we talked about. Now, go over to their channel. All right. On par with Maury Povich. They're going to be in the description box. This original video without my commentary. Make sure you guys go on there, like the video, subscribe to the channel to see, and also so you can see all the other dope content that Maury is currently producing on his platform. Shout out to the production team as well. Super professional people, but more on that in a little bit. But if you're new to me or you're not familiar with how we got here, let's also go over that as well. So I want to say this was 2 months ago, 3 months ago. All right. Actually, this wasn't the first iteration. Let me go back. About 2 or 3 months ago. All right. I came across a video of Maury on his podcast speaking with his wife, Connie Chung. All right. And it was a legendary moment of their interaction of being married for 40 years within this video. I gave my commentary to it. All right. The team reached out and they wanted me to connect with Maury. And, you know, I'm in my side quest phase of life right now, and I'm interested in doing cool things. And I said, yeah, let's get it popping. I'd love to have the legend up on the platform. And that's what we did. Okay. Next, about a couple weeks later, we conducted this podcast interview. It was an hour of Maury and I sparring, going back and forth. Right. And I named that video, Maury Povich Comes Out of Retirement to Confront Me. Fantastic conversation. And it was my pleasure to host Maury on my platform for a type of conversation that I've frankly never done before, but I think it went over extremely well. Now we sit down together, new school as well as the old school, to talk through the dating environment as it exists today. All right. You guys ready? Let's get active. Without further ado.
What happens when the king of daytime drama teams up with the internet's sharpest, most unapologetic relationship reactor? Let's just say this wasn't a one-time thing.
We can chop it up. We can talk about podcast commentary.
Everybody, it all started with MTR, aka Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. He dropped a viral reaction video to an interview I did with my wife, Connie. You messed around. And hundreds of thousands of views later,
True.
You know, I had to see what the guy's all about. So we linked, we laughed. You are not. We had one of the most unexpected, unfiltered interviews on MTR's big YouTube channel.
Facts. Let's not even act like you're not a legend, all right?
But after the cameras stopped rolling, one thing was clear. You know, we had a lot more to say to each other. So, welcome to our brand new segment, Red Flag, Green Light, the internet's wildest dating scenarios, judged by 2 generations of truth tellers. So let's get into it. You ready for this, MTR?
I am beyond ready for this.
Okay. Here's the first scenario.
Okay.
She has her ex's initials tattooed and won't cover them up because she says it's part of her journey.
I got to hear yours first.
Mine? Well, here's the thing. This is why I say it's a red flag.
Okay.
Way back in the day,
Yeah.
there's a great golfer named Lee Trevino.
Okay.
And he always wore a Band-Aid on his arm. Nobody knew what the Band-Aid was about. And then years later, my father, the sports writer, found out under the Band-Aid was the initials of his first wife. So I say, cover it up.
Come on.
Cover it up.
Way up.
don't you think?
Yes, or yeah, cover it up. I don't want to see it. I mean, at the end of the day, having that on is like a brand, right? And it's a constant memory of the last person. All right, and I don't want to see that. This is new. This is a new thing.
Especially, by the way, if the guy with the initials dumped you.
Come on, talk to him.
And you, yeah, that's a red flag.
Beyond a red flag.
Okay.
On the play. When I came into the situation, I had a couple of notes in regards to the things that we were going to talk about in these different scenarios. But in my mind, I'm like, listen, I get funky and greasy on my YouTube channel from time to time, right? But then in this audience, right, from this perspective, how funky and greasy was Maury going to get? And you can see here, he's standing on his stool. He's standing on his own, all right? If you get dumped and the person still has the name on, crazy, all right? From a timing perspective, this also must be before tattoo removal was even a thing, but even before they had the technology for it. So that must be why he covered it as opposed to covering it up by removing it.
There we go. All right, here. Wow, we agree. I love that. Anyway, here it is. The next one.
Okay.
He still lives with his ex, but he says it's just for the lease. You don't think that happens?
Listen, I think break the lease. Break the lease. They're roommates.
Well, doesn't it happen at times? They're going to break up. But, I need a little time
Maury.
to find a place. I need, I'm still in the same house. That happens a lot.
Good point. Listen, if he gives you a time that he's going to eventually have it broken and it's still not broken, then it's a problem. Definite red flag. But if he says, I don't got the money right now, give me like a month or two, we don't even talk to each other, then I can understand, Maury.
And if there are kids involved in this?
Even besides kids, right? Like, what's the living situation? Is he in a different room in the house? Are they still in the same room? Right? Is only one bedroom in the establishment? Are they still sleeping in the bed together? I think what also kind of like I was thinking through as well is that, these questions are gender specific because it says here he lives with his ex. And I was thinking in my mind like, it could also be she as well. So it's gender specific, which I was thinking, would that change any of the dynamic of the answers that I was giving?
He's still the father of the kids, right?
Yeah. So the kids currently live with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's got to focus on the kids before dating first and getting out that current situation before he can give himself to another one.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think if it's temporary, it's a green light, and if it's for longer, it's a red flag.
I'm gonna agree with you, Maury.
Okay, here we go.
I think if it's temporary, it's a key indicator, right? Key indicator is right before red flag. It's like, listen, this is something you should be focused on. But I stand by that answer as well. If you are currently in a situation where you cannot break the lease for the comfortability of someone else that's in a situation, well, then you got to be working on other shit. Okay, now. I understand breaking a lease can be very expensive depending upon if you just signed the lease. But nevertheless, though, if you got like 4 or so months left and you can't break it, key indicator for sure. But if it goes beyond the lease, you guys re-sign the lease, that is a red flag. Get up out of there. Let's proceed. By the way, I was somewhat nervous about that, right? Like when I was coming up to the studio, I started to feel a little bit of nerves. But as soon as I walked into the studio and I saw how professional the setup was, and you see, everyone had their roles, their points, their positions that everybody was playing, right? You get in front of the camera in this room, and it felt like smooth sailing. And especially in meeting Maury, he's cool in person, right? And even in person, I'm looking at him like, damn, he's 86 years old. He don't look it to me, right? But super smooth and cool in person, right? So we shared a couple of cool conversations and moments, but it moved super quick, even more quick than what I thought it was going to move. Anyway, let's keep going.
He FaceTimes from the gym mid-set.
Crazy.
Every time.
Crazy. Red flag. Red flag on the play. Come on.
You should know more about this than I do because I don't know gyms that much.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, Maury. I'm surprised about that because
no, I go to the gym.
Okay, I was gonna say because you look great for 86, Maury.
Yeah, but I don't mess with my phone at the gym.
Yeah. And that's the way that it should always be. Come on. People who go to the gym, they messing on their phones.
I see them in between reps.
Nah, listen, that's an unfocused person. I think that a red flag for listen, all men nowadays, they got to be focused on their purpose. What you do is what you do, and you focus and you execute and you get it done. you don't meander about, check this, check that, unless it's like for a work perspective. But if you just calling your girl in between the middle of
Wild
the sex,
work.
no, focus on what you got to get done.
Yeah. So the reason why I have no idea about the phone during gym is because I Zoom my trainer. So my phone
My
is
man
on
Maury
Zoom.
got a trainer. Got it.
It's not, and if somebody calls me, I just delete the thing and out of there.
Get
Right,
out of there.
right.
Do
I
not
mean,
disturb.
Hey, it's only an hour. Come on.
It's only an hour. Maury, it's actually crazy how much that we agree here. It's kind of like the new school and the old school.
Yeah, well, I agree
There's
with that.
There's some
Yeah.
middle ground there.
Especially when it comes to phones.
Absolutely. Put
All
it
right.
down. Put the phone down.
Exactly. All right. Here's the next one. She demands your phone password on date 3, but won't follow you on Instagram.
Okay. How familiar are you with Instagram?
Oh, I read it. I look at it all the time.
Okay. You know what? Let's cut the last half of that sentence off. Let's go to the beginning. The beginning is really the issue there.
Right. About the password.
Yes. Why is she asking for your password?
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
I'm not too sure I know my wife's password. And
You
we've
know-
been married 40 years.
You know why, Maury? Because you trust her.
Yeah. Oh, so you think that's the deal about the password?
They want the passwords because they don't trust you. But I think asking for the passwords in general, if it's not a work purpose, like you're helping him meet where he needs to be, asking for a password is sacrilegious where I'm from. That means that
Facts.
there's inherent mistrust. Like you just don't trust that person, right? But if you want to ask on the third date, that's why.
That's crazy work. I was actually surprised that Maury didn't pick that up to begin with, right? And that could just be the generational difference, right? But you guys let me know, what other reason could someone, like bump on a third date? That's just crazy no matter what. What other reason besides not trusting you would someone want access to your phone if it's not work related? If you don't have a business and if she's not acting as if an employee on the business, within the business or like secretary or like what have you, there should be no other damn reason. Listen, privacy is key, right? Now there's privacy external to the relationship. And I tell you guys all day, do not select somebody that can't keep a damn mouth shut to her homegirls right? And doesn't respect your privacy amongst all of her friend groups. But then there's also an internal privacy as well. You don't need to know what 100% of the things that I am doing. Why can't you just internally trust the things that I'm doing? You picked me as the leader, right? That means you should be trusting me to be able to lead. So you should be trusting of whatever it is that I do with my phone. All right?
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag, right?
Right.
Now, but the next half of that sentence is she won't follow you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Which is completely different.
I think that that's okay.
You don't have to follow each other, do you?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's a digital application. Who cares? Yeah. It don't matter.
yeah.
It's not reality.
Okay. Yeah, we don't like that. So that's a red flag.
Red flag.
Okay.
Come on, red flags on here.
He calls every woman queen, but doesn't pay on the first date.
That's wild.
Queen? Every
Yeah,
woman
yeah.
queen?
By the way, have you ever not paid on a date?
No, I've always paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always
I mean,
paid.
even way back.
Yeah.
Now,
but I will say, Maury, that I also construct where I go for dates. So I might say that I always pay, but, I think it's okay for like a coffee date. Something simple. Just to get
Walk
to
in
know
the park.
the person. Because, it's the dating app culture today.
my wife
Yeah,
used to get.
and let me also put in more information on that. Is I guess what I was trying to get to is that you have to construct it, right? If you don't feel comfortable in paying for a steakhouse, a roof Chris, right? Or if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel comfortable, right? I think you should be doing enough due diligence before you even link up with her, to video chat with her, voice note with her, in order to try to understand who this person is before you just go spend money on her. And the thing is that if you're doing that, right, you putting time and effort in to try to understand who, you might figure out then that you're not a match. Cool. You ain't gonna you waste your time or your money or your energy, right? But then if you put in this time into the gym and then you say, hey, listen, I want us to go to the park. I want us to go on a coffee date. We can just meet up for a little bit and just, gauge each other, in person. And if she don't want to bang with it, if she thinks that there's still a minimum requirement that just for the first date. Now, if it's after the first date and you're like, oh, I really like this girl. Let me put effort into showing that I'm a planner, that I'm a leader, right? That I'm confident, right? Like then you can start to do some of those things or ratchet it up a little bit after that. But for the first, I don't know you from a hole in the wall outside of my communication digitally with you. You beginning to understand there kind of the requirements and her standards that she has set up for herself. And then that's when you start to get into that fake soft life bullshit, right? These women that, will act soft, for a moment in time, right? Meanwhile, they have high standards, high demands, highly material, right? And they see that level of degree of material as how much that you like them. But what they need to understand is that there's a loose correlation with the amount of money that he's going to spend on you on a first date in relation to either A, how much that he likes you, how much that he appreciates you, or it could just be he wants to ratchet up the money to impress in order to go deep inside that very same night. But that's got nothing to do with the queen stuff, but we get in there in a quick second.
Get pissed off when she was working and she invited an interviewee.
He's talking about his wife,
job, interviewing somebody on a dinner or drinks or something. And he tried not to let her pay. She insisted, I'm working here. This is halvesies here. You don't pay for me. And she was insistent. And she got pissed off if the guy wouldn't let her pay half.
Interesting.
But it was work related.
Yeah, work related is a little bit different, right? Relationship, it just depends on the roles that are being set up.
Right.
So I guess, and let me ask you as well, because you and Connie are a power couple, right? So do you pay most of the time?
Either or.
Either or.
She'll pay, I'll pay. Doesn't matter.
This doesn't matter. Yeah.
It's the same treasury.
It's the same treasury.
It's
the same. It's coming from the same. That's right. Yeah. That's you are married,
okay.
Right?
So we don't like that. Calls you queen, but won't pay.
Calls you queen, but won't pay. No, but it calls every woman queen. I think that is an issue. I don't think human beings are by trade kings and queens just for existing.
Yeah, I don't like the term.
Come on, talk to him, Maury. I think it's an earned term.
Yeah.
But nowadays we give a lot of people participation trophies just simply for existing. So I think that queen should be reserved for a queen.
There you go.
Come on.
And then what was the second half of that again?
But he won't pay.
But he won't pay?
Yeah.
Yeah. He might be a manipulator.
There you go.
You can't.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
And let me clarify that as well. When I say manipulator, I mean the combination of the two statements, right? You calling every woman queen, but then you don't treat them as queens when you get up. There's a degree of verbal manipulation, because we already know that women fall in love with what they hear while men fall in love with what they see. So there could be a degree of verbal manipulation. Also, shout out to Maury. His degree of experience shines within this, because what you guys don't know, Maury can see the questions. I can't see the questions. So there'd be sometimes he would say the question and I start thinking about an answer, and then I talk about some of the question, and then I'd forget what the rest of the question is. But the way that Maury would tee it up, like he would see me kind of being like, okay, what's the next one? And then he would say it out loud again. I think this is like the second time that he did that. So shout out to Maury for keeping us on track and on base. All right, let's go.
He proposes after 2 weeks and says he just knows. But he hasn't deleted Hinge.
Listen, if you're in a serious relationship, you got to get rid of the dating apps. Now, I will say the app drawers get so full, maybe you just forgot.
Maybe he forgot.
That's a possibility.
Big possibility.
2 weeks though, Maury? What you think about that?
2 weeks. My wife and I dated 7.5 years. I mean, come on, man.
Come on.
2 weeks is crazy.
I think 2 weeks is wild. Right, like unless we talking about arranged marriages or something like that.
Still
but
wild.
You don't know someone after 2 weeks. Sometimes you don't know them after 2 years.
No. And you know more about this than I do. Once you're together with somebody, once you're connected, don't you just delete all the apps?
You should. You should delete
I mean,
all of
this
the
is
dating
way
apps.
after my day. You know, there were no apps back then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing to do. I mean, usually forgot the phone numbers of others, but that was
About it. So were you forced to delete old phone numbers? Because that would be like the dating apps.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
had to get them out the black book, the Rolodex.
Right. I mean, it would
Yeah.
be gone.
Yeah.
The abacus.
No, yeah. So the dating apps should definitely go.
Yeah.
You know. But let me ask, what about Instagram?
And the reason I asked about Instagram, because in my mind, I'm like, you know, it's not a gray area with dating apps. Shit, I think one of them, was it a Bumble or Hinge, says it's the app made to be deleted, right? Like that's like their tagline, right? But it's a gray area when it comes to like Instagram, which is the world's largest dating platform, or at least a segment of the population utilizes it as that. After I asked the question, I thought in my head, I'm like, Maury probably doesn't understand the context of that. We're already at the end of the question. So however he chooses to answer it is however he chooses to answer it. But let's listen.
Should Instagram go, the social media apps?
You mean the whole? No, no. You might unfollow somebody.
You might unfollow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to
She
get into
says
it. Like
she's not into labels, but post you on her story with my man heart emoji.
manipulator.
It's a wild
Now,
world.
now, this is better for you than me.
Yeah.
Because emojis, I mean, I hate to tell you this, I don't use them.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. You just get straight to the point.
Right. I don't.
He's
I
old
don't-
school.
So, do you find some things that you say via text get taken out of context?
Of course.
So you gotta use emojis then, Maury.
Oh, is that it?
Listen, I'm gonna give you a whole emoji tutorial.
And
There's some
reviews.
good ones in there.
There are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a couple.
Well, so for example,
Put me on the spot.
If someone is saying to you, you know, hey, this happened to me at work, you can say, oh, that's good, but then have an exploding head emoji at the end of it. So now you're like, it's not, oh, that's good. It's, that's good, exploding head emoji.
Yeah.
Right? So just to provide additional context as opposed to, you know, not.
What my fear is that we lose our ability to express ourselves
He's right.
Yeah.
with the written word.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
This is why having a old school and a new school conversation like this is so important, because he brings you back to a time period before, right, the internet, before, right, before dating apps, dating before emojis and, you know, all of these different types of communication methods.
Also, too,
Come on.
so much time in a day, you can't call everybody.
You can't.
That's true.
Voice notes are good in between, though.
Right. So we don't like that?
Yeah, I would take a step back. I would take a step. It's the confliction between reality and what you do digitally.
Right.
There's a difference, right? It's got to make sense.
Gotta
if it
make
don't make
sense.
sense, you got to back it.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, here's the last one. He wants a soft life and says, you, on the other hand, should work 2 jobs and I will stay grounded.
Wait a minute. He wants a soft life.
Yes, he wants the soft life.
It's gender specific.
So the significant other is working 2 jobs.
So he's staying at home. He says, listen,
Right.
listen, I'm tired. I don't want no more of this.
Now, the
I wanna
only
stay
the
home."
only exception to me is if there are 3 kids there and now he's going to be the house husband, that's fine.
But that's not a soft life.
No, that's
That's not a soft life. To me, this is, listen, you work.
It's softer.
I'm going to go get my hair cut once a day. I'm going to go get massages. I'm going to go to the spa. You double work up over there, all right?
Right.
This is strong independent season. Go do your thing.
Right.
I don't like that, Maury.
No, neither do I. That's a big red flag.
That's huge, right?
and what
Let me clear this up as well. What I think is key within this quote, and listen, I got the song Drizzle Drizzle. I talk about having a soft life within the song. To a degree, it is a parody, right? But when he says soft life and then he says to stay grounded, right? If you were to change the genders of this question, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But it's because it's the dude who wants to stay grounded, whatever the hell that shit means, then I think that it's whack. Soft life, when your life should be the value that you contribute or the purpose that you have within this life. Now, your kids can be your purpose. So I don't shit on stay-at-home dads. Do your thing, player. I don't think, at least up to the age where they get to go into school, it's a soft life. There's a lot of things you got to manage within a day. But from a traditional perspective, the man telling the woman,
hey, you go work not one but 2 different jobs because I must, within my chakras, stay grounded. That shit is weird to me. All right.
My wife get pissed as shit.
Look at wait, we gotta back that up. Maury, I didn't expect a cuss word out of my boy Maury. Damn, Maury, tell him how you.
Right. This is strong independent season. Go do your thing.
Right.
I don't like that, Maury.
Neither do I. That's a big red flag.
That's huge, right?
And would my wife get pissed as shit? She would.
I didn't expect
How
that.
pissed, Maury? Scale of 1 to 10.
Scale of 1 to 10.
By about 9.
Come on, 9.
What would you say the dating pool is? It is on life support with stuff like that?
The dating pool today is very interesting. I think that with the proliferation of technology, we are more far away now than what we have ever been, but convinced that we're closer than what we have ever been. And I also think that due to differing of interest, there is a sort of back and forth between both men and as well as women. But I do think, though, it'll get better over time. The more that we could talk about these different things to get people to understand that at the end of the day, we're better together than apart.
And you know
That's
what
my
I think?
political answer.
In a way of communicating, I think social media is a blessing. I don't think it's bad.
Depends
you know
how
what
you
I
use
mean?
it.
Because I think the more we, talk it out on social media, the better chance we have.
Yeah.
The more that we can commentate on things that are happening to bring light to these situations.
And that's what you do the best.
And that's what you did the best. You showed us the truth for decades.
Thanks.
Oh.
All right, everybody. We'll both see you next time on Red Flag, Green Light.
Come on.
This is just episode
This
1.
just episode 1, baby. Come on. Round of applause, baby. Hey. Listen, I knew at the end of this, and I heard Maury drop the S-bomb. Damn, she'd give me shit. I was like, I thought to myself, damn it, we got to run an episode 2. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was going to be that free with it, but he was. All right. He gets real up there. Right. So I can even see. And guys, make sure you guys go over here. It goes right here on Par Pod, red light, green light. Make sure that you guys go over, comment on their content over there. If you guys want to be able to see episode 2, I got to take it to another level. All right. We got to get down to the roots. We got to get down to the gristle. Old school versus new school. All right. We got to be able to go over it. Again, shout out to Maury. Thank you again to Maury, on par with Maury Povich, as well as the production team over there. Class acts over there. All right. I'm effusive about the production team. Maury has a great team behind him to ensure success on this new stage of life of what he is, right? Out of the mainstream. And through the advances in technology, content is different today, right? Shit. I'm in my own studio right now creating content each and every day that hundreds of thousands of people watch on a daily damn basis. And to watch at the tender age of 86 years old, he can get up on here on a different wavelength, right? And be able to speak to a new set of audience, new set of eyes, or old, because he's got so many older school people that are used to watching him from a daytime television perspective that they're like, oh shit, he's got a podcast? Let me go over there and take a listen to him. So nevertheless, shout out to everybody again. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. It's been an honor and a privilege to be on this platform to talk to you guys the way that we've been talking. You know, I'm in my side quest era, you know, going into the future. And I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. And yeah, let's continue on going forth. Let's continue on taking this to a whole nother level. Let's continue to do things that we never thought possible. Hashtag progress over perfection. All right, guys, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this red light, green flag episode. Should we do an episode 2? Let me know. Be brutally honest down in the comment box. And last but not least, I'll see you guys soon. Until next time, peace.